Yeah, hi. So, as Stacie said, that it's physically dangerous and unsafe for 16-year-olds to drive, right? But remember the commercial? You see the damage in the car? How much do you think that costs? A couple thousand to fix the body, another $1,000 to fix the engine, a couple thousand to fix the transmission. Maybe your insurance goes up, your premiums go up. So, not much, right? But the reality is that for every fatal accident, it costs about $6 million in property damage and loss in workforce and loss in work productivity. What if you hit somebody? What if you crippled somebody? Teenagers driving is like a disease. No, I'm serious, because according to the Center for Disease Control, they consider teenagers driving a public health hazard. It's true. Because 35% of all teenage deaths are caused by teenagers driving. That's more than cancer, more than any illnesses, more than homicides, more than suicides, more than anything that kills teenagers is caused by teenagers driving. It is a public health hazard. And it's a public health, and the CDC is so interested in this because every year 3,000 teenagers are killed and sent to the ER room. And 350,000 more are also sent to the hospitals and ER room. And according to the Journal of Traffic Injury Prevention, 75% of those costs are not paid directly by those teenagers or their parents. So the burden of that cost goes on the rest of society, all of us, and also our insurance premiums go up. It's not just teenagers that are in trouble. We are also in trouble too. According to the American Automobile Association, the majority of accidents are not, the majority of teenagers causing accidents are not to themselves, but to other people. 1/3, about 36.2%, are injured or killed by other teenagers, while the other 63.6% are pedestrians, bicyclists, other automobile, motorcyclists that are hit by teenagers every year. And these injuries can be debilitating and be life-crippling. Imagine you yourself, you're driving, you have a workplace to go, you have friends, families who go to work, and suddenly a 16-year-old can end your career, not just your life, but according to AAA, that injuries cost more than death by accidents. And according to CDC, a stronger graduated driver license can prevent about 300,000 accidents a year. And according to the Traffic Injury Prevention, a stronger graduated driver license can reduce fatal injuries by 38% and 40% non-fatals. And I wonder, do 16-year-olds really need to drive? According to the Institute for Global Labor and Human Rights Foundation, only 1/3 of teens use their car to drive to work. I mean, honestly, when you were 16 and you wanted to drive a license, did you honestly think that you were driving in order to go to work, to pay back to society, and to be less of a burden on your parents? No, probably not, right? So, I mean, there's this misconception that driving a car is a path to adulthood, but in reality, it's not. Therefore, I hope you guys sign the petition and vote to raise the driving age to 18. Thank you.
So as Tim just stated, 38% of fatal and 40% of non-fatal accidents could be decimated from our statistics just by, raising the driving age to 18 by implementing graduated licensing 2.0. It doesn't take rocket scientists to realize this because Even the marketing company and the auto manufacturing engineers, they're capitalizing on this already. I was reading in Ladies' Home Journal, or some manly journal. Ford actually came out with what's called a Ford My Key. The key has a microchip that will allow a parent to adjust, the top speed, how loud the radio can go, seatbelt chimes, fuel lights, any of the dummy lights. All those can be adjusted by the key, by the special microchip. Our opponents are going to say that this will, sufficiently reduce accidents, that this is enough to keep our teens safe. But the truth of the matter is it won't. A single key can't, compensate for the lack of judgment in a 16-year-old's brain. There's nothing this key can do that the government. There's nothing that this key can do that the government can't do with just a little bit more education. The opponents will also argue that we're denying the essential right of passage into a teen's development into adulthood. But that's actually not true. In 1980, half of the 16-year-olds out there had their license. Of the same demographics today, less than a third have their license. In that same studies, in 1983, 80% of 18-year-olds had their license. And today, less than 2/3 have it. The shift in the percentage largely amounts to technology. The children have Facebook, FaceTime, text messaging, cell phones. They're choosing to stay at home. They're choosing to stay away from driving. And that was actually an article from USA Today, which is very accredited. Breanna showed us the flaws in our licensing system right now. 282,000 injuries, 2,700 deaths. I mean, that's a really large number. Stacie showed us the physical safety, where 4% of the drivers are causing 19% of the accidents and 82% of fatal deaths. And then Tim covered the deaths, where they averaged a cost of $6 million per accident, or per fatal accident. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to tell you that we're not evangelists up here. We're not trying to get you to conform to our beliefs. What we're trying to do is get you to realize that our safety, the safety of our future, and the safety of our future generations to come is at risk. So if you could just take a minute, sign this petition to get 2.0 on the ballot, then our safety as a whole would be safer than if you were to just turn around and walk away from us today. Thank you.